What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Puck U. It is a dark day in hockey. It is April 30th, 2025. Hella games last night. We saw our first team head to the golf course. Dunzo. And of course, our first comment. Let me tell you something here at NYC. I'm going to tell you something.
Well, I've been waiting for you, NYC. Thank you for showing up, buddy. Good to have you in the chat.
After that first period, I had a litany of things to say for you. Ready for you, brother. So much so that less sense you can't say that podcast. I was ready for you, brother. I'll tell you who wasn't ready to pull to have a full 60. Actually, what is that? That's 83 minutes of game time was the Devs. Solid effort for the season for my guys, but that's it. Carolina moves on. Carolina was the better team. We were outmatched. We came out firing. Proud of what my boys put together, but it was too much, man. Too much. Carolina to the moon. My new cup winners. If you could beat the Devils, you could beat anybody.
Here we go.
Yeah. We'll see.
But you know what, though? You have every excuse in the world to crutch on, and we all know how I feel about excuses. So, however, the facts are the facts, and the fact is the better team won, and you said it, and that's the reality of it. It's not like the Devils got a bunch of good bounces and ended up winning this series or winning this game. They didn't. This game should have not went to overtime. It should have definitely not gone to double overtime. Your man, Jacob Markstrom, stood on his fucking head to try and keep your team in it, but the team was not really there to support him. You got out to a hot start, a 3-0 start, which we smashed the over in that game, which we released yesterday. We'll get into that in a minute, but you get up 3, and then they start chipping away. And I mean, it's a long game, and I get that, but oh man, the one that got away, that's kind of what is going to ring into this, because you win this game, you go back to the Rock, and now you're back at home ice. And you win that one, well, go ask the Leafs how they're feeling right fucking now.
Let's ask the Leafs how they're feeling right now. Because those guys, listen, there's stats out the ass on these guys in closeout games. I've seen everything from in 14 closeout games, they're 1-13. They have only led in 5 full minutes of those games. They're outscored. They've been shut out twice, and they got shut out again last night by Linus Ullmark. Only had to face 29 shots. First career playoff shutout. I can't say that it was all Ottawa, but Ottawa was the team that wanted to win last night, and Ottawa was the team that won. Every once in a while, we have these games where it's like, oh, the better team didn't win this one, or, the effort wasn't there. The effort was there in Ottawa. Those boys were out there. I texted you when Ottawa went up 2-0. Hey, there's another Nylander back check.
Yeah.
Chasing his guy, hits the blue line, and I don't want to play anymore. 2-0 on their way to the route. What are the Leafs to do?
All right, so first things first, we analyzed the shit out of this game yesterday.
Danny says the Leafs have ED when it comes to closeouts.
You get it up, but you just can't get to the promised land. If it feels that way, comparing that to getting it on, oh my God, that would be awful, wouldn't it? But all right, so we analyzed the shit out of this game, and boy, Burnsy, we were fucking dialed in. We knocked this one out of the park. So if you listened to us at Puck U yesterday, you got a lot of good insight on this Toronto game. We talked about Anthony Stolarz not having a great game, which he didn't. I mean, he didn't get the run support. So whenever a team loses 2-0, you go point the finger at the goalie, sure, go ahead. But that's not really the real way of doing it. So it's not that he was awful, but we said this yesterday. Toronto, Stolars is getting worse. Allmark is getting better. I think I even dropped the word shutout for Allmark yesterday at some point. We're going to have to roll the tape back and double check that.
Might have heard it. I think you were talking about Markstrom, but whatever.
Yeah. No, that was definitely not me. But I did hear it from you. So nonetheless, though, I mean, Linus Allmark had to be the best player on the ice for the Ottawa Senators. That's exactly what we said, Bernsey. You go on the road, you want to fucking win, you got your backs up against the wall. Your best player has to be your goalie. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work. Because you look at the Devils yesterday, Markstrom was the best player on the ice for the Devils. And they still lost. It still sometimes isn't enough. And I saw a couple posts today of guys lighting their Leaf jerseys on fire. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, guys, you're up 3-2.
I can believe it.
It's like they know. It's like they know they're going to get hurt again. And, I don't know if they will or not, because you got to think this has got to end at some point, right? Like, if you're Craig Berube, what are you going to tell your boys after getting shut out at home to close out this series? What do you
say? Like, hey guys, just calm down. We got this. Like just take it easy. We got this. We're going back to Ottawa and their barn, which is really our barn, but is it anymore?
Did you see the interview of Chris Tanev? He basically got asked about the game, and he's like, no, I still think we're in good shape. Like, ooh, that I can't remember the exact wording, but it was like, no, we should still be good. All right, well, that's kind of a weird answer. If it was me, like, you know what, we just didn't have it tonight, and if we want to win this series, we're gonna have to fucking earn it.
Right. And every man in that room's got to look at themselves and say, do you want this? Some shit like that.
For sure. And you look at the Edmonton Oilers last night, their big guns didn't get on the score sheet till the empty netter. They had depth. They had, Jankro get on the score sheet, and he was involved. You need everybody going. It takes 20 fucking guys to win a game. Win in and win out. It's a long postseason. You can't count on the Super Four or whatever the fuck they're called to carry you to a Stanley Cup Finals. It doesn't fucking happen. If it did, they would have won the Cup the last 3 years in a row. But it doesn't. This Leaf team needs to fucking step up. Whether they will or not, I don't know, Bernsey. And I'm interested to see how the lines, as far as the betting perspective goes, are going to start moving for Game 6. Because, as much as it's tougher to play on the road, let's face it, Ottawa's 4 hours away. You're going to have just as many blue shirts as red shirts in the stands. So it's like home ice, but not. Right now, the Sens are minus 120 favorites. The first time in this series where the Leafs are dogs. Tell me Vegas isn't thinking that 1-13 record of closing out games is not going to stick.
Means everything, yeah.
Means everything right now. So anyways, that's jumping ahead to tomorrow night. But I don't know if I'm a head coach and you have the same thing happen year after year. What is the solution? What do you do in net? We talked about Stolars's numbers tanking game after game, not tanking, but decreasing every game. And it did again last night, just like we said it would on Puck U. Now, that's fine if you're getting the run support, but you didn't last night. You couldn't solve Allmark. So what do you do for Game 6? Do you put in a cold Joseph Woll? Or do you go back to Stolars, who's been that 58, 70 save percentage kind of guy and hope that he just.
Well, listen, and then Wall's not 100% healthy, so it's not like that's an easy sub right there. So I don't know. You have to take a look at what his health is. If he is healthy, yes, I think Wall has to.
Assuming he is. Let's assume he is.
We don't know. In that, wake up the fucking team. I still think, just like Danny, I think the Sens take game 6, right? Back to Toronto for game 7. I think eventually the Leafs do close it out because they have to. They can't. Could you imagine what happens if they blow a 3-0 lead?
To the Sens?
I want to watch the world light on fire.
Oh my God. They're gonna blow up the CN Tower. Like, I don't.
Well, the big dog came out for Ottawa. We had Brady Tkachuk, a goal, 2 assists. He was a +3 rating. Timmy Stützle, he had a goal, 2 assists.
Parlay winner.
And the winner, yep. So it's going to be a very wild Ottawa area for game 6 tomorrow night, right? They don't have a travel day in between?
I don't think so.
I hope not. I want this to be tonight. Let's get it tonight. Game 6 tonight. We'll cancel everything else. I want Ottawa, Toronto, game 6 tonight.
Cancel all the other games. They don't matter. We want to see Toronto burn.
All right. We got a couple other games to recap from last night. We had the Wild against Vegas. Vegas eked another one out in OT. I mean, this thing is what's that? 3 OT games so far. Vegas winning the last 2. So they have a commanding lead, 3-2. Hell of an effort again by Minnesota. Who else scored for Minnesota but Matt Boldy again? Kaprizov again. It was nice to see Willie Karlsson wake up. He hasn't done much as far as scoring goes into this series. Jack Eichel is heating up. Mark Stone gets the first of his series playoff right now. What do you think? How does this thing end? Or what do you foresee in game 6 back in Minnesota?
What sucks is these start times. Like, we're in the Eastern time zone. And the fact that these games start so late by the second period, like, I'm out. Like, I can't do it. And it sucks because I want to watch these games. These are really good games. The Minnesota Wild is a great story. They're playing with one of the best teams in the West, and they've done a great job. Sure, they could be up. They could be the ones that are up 3-2 right now. And, like, that's the kind of series as hockey fans that we want to see, is those tight series. But, again, the better team won. And Vegas was just a little bit better. They are better. Minnesota's still not getting depth scoring from the deeper part of their lineup. It's tough to win when you're counting on Kaprizov and Boldy to just float you. It just doesn't happen. But I'll tell you what, we did have Eichel on our bacon parlay last night, and Timmy Stützle cashed early, pretty big money on it. So, that was a big 10x winner on the bacon parlay. So for all the VIP subscribers, they did cash that one along with the Ottawa +1.5. But I still don't think this Minnesota series is over. I think this could easily go to a game 7.
No, and Minnesota's got that dog in them. I fully expect them to come out. I absolutely think they can win game 6, but either way, I fully expect them to come out and compete. They're going to give Vegas all they can handle. And just like we talked about yesterday, the hardest one to win is the 4th one.
The annoying thing with this game, Bernsey, was I dropped a free pick reel on Instagram yesterday of Gustafson cashing the over. And then third period rolls around, and here comes Marc-Andre Fleury. I'm just like, what the fuck
are you doing here, man?
No, you can't play. We have money on him. So something happened to Gustafson. They said an illness. Did you catch COVID between periods? Like, what the fuck you mean an illness? It's one of the biggest games of your season right now. You catch an illness, like, you better have my right testicle in a fucking vice if you're expecting me not to play. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Gustafson. He was playing well, and that save prop would have Pitt, assuming he would have
He was
finished
at
the game.
23 saves going into the third.
Yeah, like so we missed it just by a few. It was almost a lock, but it didn't work out. But that's the way it happens sometimes.
Listen, I know Fleury is a Hall of Fame goalie and stuff, but that fucks your team up. That fucks your team up. When you have to come out into the third period and you have a different guy in net, it changes everybody, right? Because everyone's thinking the same thing, right? Cold goalie. I know we got, a little extra time to prepare and this, that, the other thing, but still it changes your offense, right? Like your whole offensive mind frame goes from I need to score to I need to make sure they don't score. And, got it to OT. Fleury saved 6 of 7, but it was that 7th one that puts Vegas up ahead 3-2.
But you got to remember too, like Fleury hasn't started a game since April 9th. He's filled in a couple times since then, but he hasn't started a game since April 9th. So here's the problem. And this is what brings us back to that goalie talk that we had yesterday. You look at Anthony Stolarz right now, and assuming Joseph Woll is healthy, he hasn't played in a considerable amount of time. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, if Gustafson's not good to go, obviously Fleury is going to be getting the nod. But what does that mean as far as a decision that needs to be made to replace a goalie that's not great? You're losing. Your back is starting to get up against the wall.
No, it's there.
It's definitely there. And now you got to make a decision to put in a goalie that hasn't played in a couple weeks in a playoff atmosphere with a lot of added pressure. And this comes back to that. Well, if you would have, why not give game 2 to Joseph Woll just to get him in it? You're at home. He's a great goalie, and this comes back to it. But I mean, it's a little different in the Minnesota series because Gustafsson has been really good, even though they're behind in the series. It was just, I just wanted to point it out for everybody that tailed that prop pick from my Instagram reel. Fuck.
There's not much more to say other than that. I mean, it is what it is, and it be what it be. But golly! All right, now on to the last game that played last night that I'm sure fucked everybody up last night. We were all over death and taxes on the over in this game, and the Kings came out, and we were, hey, listen, it was looking pretty good. The Kings came out and scored on a power play. Another one by Kuzmenko. Who else? Kopitar was involved in that one. Cashed our Adrian Kempe with a secondary assist there. And then just 3 minutes later, Evander Kane, everybody's Mr. Favorite bad guy. He scores in the second period, set up by John Klingberg. And then that was it. It was all the big bad oil crew from there. Yeah, Mark got the game-winning goal. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry,
Yep, yeah, Mark got the game-winning goal in the third period off of Victor Arvidsson rebound. Assisted by Vasily Podkolzin. You're the French guy. Say that name. And then sealing the deal was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the empty netter, assisted by McJesus and Draisaitl. I don't know about you, buddy, but Edmonton looks hot.
Okay, so first of all, I would, if I had to watch this game again, I was still taking the over. Darcy Kemper was fucking unbelievable. Some of the saves that he made, and it could have been 5-0 in the first period. He made a save on Bouchard coming across, a glove save. McDavid hit him backdoor. Just outstanding. This guy has been unbelievable the past couple games. So that's a one-off, right? That's not a common thing where you see a goalie stand on his head like that.
Especially Kemper in this series. He's been lit the fuck up.
But yeah, the first couple games, he was not great. They're super high-scoring games, but he was getting a lot of rubber. But he has been getting better as this series has gone on. But, so I'm still taking the over on that because I don't count on Kemper to make those saves
again and again.
Night out, 100%. We did, however, put the money on Calvin Pickard in the save prop, thinking LA is going to come out buzzing. They're
Like
in
they
the
have all
again.
series.
The harmonicas are in. Those
are over.
They've owned the home ice so well. They were fucking terrible. They had 4 shots in the first period. They had 3 2-on-1s in the first period. They didn't register a fucking shot. Those would have just right there. There's the difference between winning and losing. So we ended up losing this save prop. It was, one of those things where you just got owned by your opponent. And the Edmonton Oilers, my God, they looked so good. And I'm not even an Edmonton fan. I'm a hockey fan. And when I watched the first period and a half of that game, it was like, oh my God, how is this not 6-0 right now? Right? But then you got Calvin Pickard, who still had to do what he had to do. Stopped 21 saves for Pickard. Edmonton peppered 46 shots on net. Like, that's an insane amount. How is this game only a 3-1 with an empty netter? That doesn't you got to tip your cap to Worth, Stu. And Darcy Kemper flat out was the best player for LA last night. And unfortunately, it didn't get done for the LA Kings. And now they're going back to a really tough place to play. I've been there for the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and that is a tough rink to play in. Nonetheless, it is what it is. The better team won, 100%. LA's kind of taking Edmonton's taking a stranglehold on this series now. Alex Borges Skinner is done. Pickard's net from here on out until he loses it. Again, I 100% agree with that. But he also needs to be on a short leash too, because you also don't want to overplay him. You run into the same fucking problem that we discussed yesterday. So good game. Really happy for the Edmonton team to get their shit together and put that win together. Tough if you're a Kings fan this morning, waking up and checking that box score. But hey, it's not over till it's over.
Still more hockey to play, man. Still more hockey to play. A lot of vets over on that team. LA is going to give the Oils everything that they can handle. But I mean, like you said, in that environment, from puck drop to the last buzzer, all you're going to be hearing is "Let's go Oilers," just like you heard when you were there during the Cup Finals. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight. We're starting off with the Canadiens against the Capitals. Capitals in a commanding 3-1 lead. Home dominance So Caps are starting off 3-1 lead. Montreal has struggled on the road this season, 17-20-6. So that's basically 17-26. This is a series that we've kept a close eye on. Obviously, you're a big Habs fan. Let's get right to it, man. I won't even waste any of my breath. You know the Canadiens inside and out. What do the Canadiens need to do to not join my guys on the golf course and wrap their season up tonight?
So first things first, I just want to point out to everybody that Montreal lasted longer than New Jersey. So just saying.
We're just firing up the jet, Betty. Just firing up the jet.
We deserve a Stanley Cup for that, is what I honestly, I have my concerns for Montreal in this game. Young team, rookie team. The Vegas money line is rolling in, suggesting that Washington is going to take care of business at home, like they've done like 28 other times this year. But Montreal's one of those teams where they can get it done, and that's what makes handicapping Montreal very challenging. Is because they're so young, they can be so terrible and then so good the next night. And you look at their last game, they were a good two. So it's funny because the script actually flipped. Like, the Montreal Canadiens aren't a good first period team. And yet last game, they came out with a lead in the first period. And their third period, which is typically their best, Washington just controlled that game. And, I think they scored 3 or 4 in the third? Yeah. They have 4 goals, including, 2 empty netters, but still. And I thought Montreal played a good game. I thought they had a couple breakdowns and it resulted in the back of the net. Lane Hudson, as much as I love the kid, we talked about this at the start. You can't overhandle it. You don't make it harder. Don't make it harder on yourself by trying to be a fucking hero every game. Do what you do, and that is you make quick decisions and you execute them when you're moving your feet and you go through shit. Last game, he didn't do that. Well, he did, but not when it mattered the most. Like, he turned the puck over on his own on Washington's blue line with an empty net after winning the faceoff, and then 6 seconds later is in the back of the net to pretty much end the game. That can't happen. But these are rookie things that rookies do. So you got to cut them a little bit of slack, but at the end of the day, you better fucking learn from it, because you can't be doing the same shit night in and night out. Do I think Montreal can win this game? Absolutely. I think they're capable of it. But I don't even know, have they released their starter tonight? Is it Dobish? Is Montembeault good yet?
Nope. Still dead. It's going to be Dobish tonight.
So that's another problem, right? You got pretty much not one rookie to another rookie, but in the world of playoff hockey and when it matters the most, that's basically it. So that is concerning as a Montreal fan and as a hockey fan for the Montreal Canadiens. What can you expect from a guy like Jacob Dobish to do tonight against the highest flying Ovechkin and company at home?
I mean, listen, it's not an ideal situation. I mean, I don't, obviously Montembeault was their number one. He's not going tonight. It's a tall order. It's a tall order for the Canadiens in Washington, So I don't know. What I do know, I mean, Alex likes Caps money line in the first period. I mean, do you see the Canadiens having another big first period like they did last game? Or do you think, the Caps come in? I personally think the Caps are going to come in and give them everything that they can handle. I think Tommy Wilson's going to be a fucking menace. I love to see him and Wi-Fi get into it tonight. That's something we all need in our lives. I don't know. I think the Canadiens have a chance. The Caps should be pulling this one out.
They should. And I don't want to look at the first period of last game and be like, oh, they figured out the first period, because statistically and analytically, they haven't. They had an exception to a rule, and they just happened to be at home when they did it. But now you're on the road, and you don't typically have good first periods. Washington has had really good goaltending. This could have very well been a 2-2 or 3-2 lead in this series for Montreal. That's how good they have played, but Washington's just been a little bit better. I don't know. I can't even handicap this game, because my personal side is, wanting Montreal to do it, but the statistical and analytical side of things are saying that I think Washington's going to take care of shit at home. But we all know what taking care at home means, right, Toronto? So, it's possible that it doesn't get done. And for my sake, I hope that we take it to the Caps and win, a 6-2 win, and Suzuki has 4 fucking points. Let's go, boys. Fucking do it.
If the Canadiens are putting the puck in the net, it's going to come down to the big dogs. It's going to be Suzuki. It's going to be Cole Caulfield. I mean, Caulfield has in 3 of 4 games, he's had points. At least one. He has a team high 21 shots on goal. But I mean, the Caps are just. To me, I got to lean on experience. Yeah, I mean, we hope to see. I want to see Game 7 everywhere, right? I want to see this go back to Montreal. I want to hear Montreal on their feet. I want to see your ass in Montreal, take the drive, get down there, but you got to get there first.
I'll tell you what, if they win this game, when would Game 6 be? It would be. I'm in fucking Toronto this weekend. I gotta go pick up something. So it would actually be Friday.
Clear the schedule, brother. Get out there.
Fuck, it's a
Wave
1
that
o'clock
Canadian
start.
towel.
What? It's a 1 o'clock start on a Friday? What the fuck is that? How is that home ice advantage?
What's
1
that?
o'clock?
They're playing in
Anyways,
England?
I'm not even going to finish my sentence because I don't know if I can honor it, but let's just win. Okay?
Well, the big dogs are out for Washington. I mean, Dylan Strome has been all over this series. I mean, he is an assist machine. He's got 5 assists in 4 games. 3 of the 4 games that he has played, he's gotten over a half an assist. Keep an eye on that little player prop. And I mean, how do you not look at Ovi? How do you not look at Ovi? You know, he scored in 3 of the 4 games. He thrives in these elimination scenarios. So I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. But I see the Canadiens hitting the links with the Devs tomorrow.
A day after the Devs, though.
All right, moving on. The Battle of Florida continues. This time we're switching over to Tampa. We got the Panthers and the Lightning going into Game 5. Panthers up 3-1. Now, we spoke about this earlier before we came on here. I mean, the Lightning just look, and you can decide if you want to give credit to the Panthers, give credit for the Panthers, right? If you want to look at the Lightning and say, hey, what's going on here? I think either side you can look at. But the Lightning are not the Lightning. They don't look right. They look broken. They've averaged just 2.25 goals per game this series. It's the second lowest playoff team besides the Devils. Kucherov has just not been right. You know, I mean, we talked about him. I mean, I was at the Panthers game for Game 4, and you just didn't see the puck possession from this team. You didn't see them entering the zone properly. You saw them flinging the puck all over the place. A lot of Hail Mary passes. And I mean, I know it's easy to look at it and say, like, well, when you got a guy like Ekblad coming down on you and raising the old forearm shiver, you know, you're going to grip your sticks a little tighter. But, I mean, he caught a 2-game sussy. He's not going to be playing tonight. I mean, what do you think they're able to do tonight to get back to the series?
So as big of a loss as he is to Florida, you know who else is a big loss? Is not having Hagel in the lineup in a must-win situation. But you have your head down, you got smoked. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure what to think with this Tampa series yet because, you know, everyone's like, oh, Vasilevsky's back. He's been here. He's been here before.
I totally thought it.
I mean, his numbers suggest a little bit of both, okay? Let's give him some credit. Games 2 and 3, he gave up 1 goal, right? Game 1 wasn't a good one. Let's chalk that one up for just a big fat L. But the last game, 3 goals on 22 shots when you had the lead with 4 minutes left or whatever it was, 6 minutes left, and then they score 2 goals in under a minute. What the fuck is going on? He's been okay. He's been okay. And like, that's a big body. He should be getting outside that crease a little bit more to, you know, take those long shots and not giving them very much credit. And, you know, sure, it was kind of deflected, whatever, but he was out of position a little bit. So, you know, is this the end of an era for Andrei Vasilevsky where he's not the guy that can bring you to a cup final, not the guy to steal a game for you when it matters the most? I don't know. The last few years suggest that he's not that guy anymore. Great goalie, don't get me wrong. He's a future Hall of Famer, but when it matters the most, he hasn't been spectacular. He's been good, but he hasn't been perfect. And you need to be perfect right now. You got to go out and beat Bob heads up because there hasn't been a ton of shots in this series.
No.
You know, it's not like he's just the Markstrom getting peppered with 55 fucking shots every game, right? That hasn't been the case. But you got to take care of business at home here. You know, this will be a very disappointing season for the Tampa Bay Lightning if they don't win tonight. But they're not getting it done, Bernsey. They're only averaging fucking 20 shots a game.
There's just no puck possession. There's just no urgency. I mean, the guys in the chat are saying Kucherov has been a ghost. I mean, he looks like he did during the skills competition a couple of years. Just not. I'm not going to say like the guy like doesn't give a fuck, but it looks like he hears footsteps or something, man. I don't know what the hell it is, but he every time he touches the puck, he's like, yeah, you take it. Oh, yeah, let me get it over there. You know, so if Tampa's going to wake up and Tampa's going to try and make this thing a series, I think it all comes down to Cooch. It has to. I mean, Jake Gensel's, he's doing his job. He's out there. He's got his guys, but Cooch got to step up, brother. And I know we've cashed out on Braden Point a few times. I mean, he's got to bring in as well. But they have to control these cats, and I don't know if the Panthers are controllable. And like I said, I picked the Lightning to win this series. You know, I did not see it going this way at all.
Yeah, and I don't know what's wrong with Kucherov. You look at, it's funny how you see these superstars post the seasons that they have, and then the playoffs, they're sometimes nowhere to be found for the entire series, and then they lose. And like, well, what the fuck? You had 100 and whatever points in the regular season, and you might have actually hurt our team more than you've helped our team over the last five games. So obviously it's a must-win for Tampa. I think they get it done. I think they take care of home ice. But I don't think I'm actually going to be playing the money line on this game on the card. It's just not a favorable matchup. It's pretty much a pickup. There's no real edge here. So I'm probably going to stay away from this one.
I think this one's going to it has to be a tight one. I mean, if you are going to do something with your money here, I mean, I guess the smart money is on Tampa, right? Like it's a group of veterans, hell of a fucking coach. You're coming back into your barn. I mean, how are you going to get shit pumped and sent home by your biggest rival? Right? If there's ever the biggest effort you're going to put out, it has to be tonight. But we will see. We will see how that goes for sure.
I do like the Bobrovsky over 22.5 saves. Just because of the desperation Tampa has to have. They're going to have to get more pucks in front of them. And even though they haven't this whole series, maybe that number's too high. You know what? I'm staying away. I'm staying clear of it. I don't want anything to do with this fucking game. Unless it's betting on the Pims.
But yeah, I mean, like, listen, we know what the Lightning possess. We know the offense that they can produce. So yeah, this could be another game 3, 5-1 Lightning victory. Or it could be a 6-2 Panther victory. I don't know how to read this one. If I had to lean aside, I'd go with the home team and I would say the Lightning, but I wouldn't. I don't know. This is a goofy one. All right, moving on to another goofy one. God only knows what to expect in this one. We got the Blues against the Jets. Blues opened up with back-to-back dominating home victories.
Winnipeg did.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Winnipeg opened up, but boy, did the Blues come back, outscoring 7-3 in games 3 and 4 at home. We shift back to Winnipeg, and the biggest story on everybody's mind is 3 words: Connor Hella Buck. What to expect from Hellebuck tonight?
If this isn't deja vu, I don't know what it is. And how do we just pinpoint this on him? You can and you can't. It's not fair. It's not fair to him, with the exception of last game. 5 goals against, 18 saves, a whopping 722 save percentage. The game before that, 760. But at home, though, 955, 824 for 2 wins. My thing here is this is an auto bet right now, is taking the under on saves for Connor Hellebuyck. Because let's say let's say, Winnipeg does take care of business at home, and they should. They are the better team, and St. Louis hasn't played well in Winnipeg. Even in close games in Winnipeg, games 1 and 2, they did absolutely nothing to get shot suppression for the St. Louis Blues. They couldn't get control of their puck. They couldn't get it to the net, even when it mattered most, even with extra attacker on. They couldn't control the puck. I think we see the same thing because Winnipeg is a really good team at home. I see Hellebuyck responding, but I don't think St. Louis is going to be getting 24, 25 shots on net. So I got to roll with the under 21.5 saves as right now it's an even money bet. So I'm going against the grain here, Bernsey. I just don't believe that St. Louis can, get that kind of action in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like, hey, it's another one of these, and this is what's so crazy about the playoffs, right? How do you win the first two at home, and then you lose the next two, and you lose the next two in shit pump fashion? I mean, it was 7-2 Blues game 3, 5-1 last game. Hellebuyck got the hook in both of them. I mean, listen, he came out during the off time and he sat there, and he didn't do this last year. But he sat there and he answered questions from the medium and he took it on the chin, right? He wasn't sitting there and saying, the guy's got to play better in front of me, or, we collectively need to be better. He just straight up said, I got to be better. This is on me. I'm the Vezina candidate, the Vezina winner. I need to shut the door. Coming back home into the whiteout, you got to expect more out of Hellebuyck. You have to.
Well, you don't have a choice.
We've been here before, though. This isn't the first time the Jets are facing a possible early round exit.
God, could you imagine, right? The interesting thing with this game is the over is cashed 3 out of 4 times, right? And we typically didn't see that coming at the start of the series because of Hellebuyck. And we know at the other end, Binnington gets better when there's more on the line. Mm-hmm. That guy's record in game 5, 6s, and 7s is unbelievable, right? And Hellebuyck doesn't usually even get to those games, and they're kicking stones down the sidewalk. So it's tough to write off the St. Louis Blues because Binner is capable of going to steal this game for them. I mean, you have to. If you want to continue, you have to win on the road. So I don't know, man. It's a tough one. And we're only going to run into this more and more as this postseason continues on. There's very narrow margins in betting on playoff sports, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It's just a little bit harder because there's more at stake. You're playing at home more than you're on the road more. I could see a 2-1 game tonight, a 3-1 game. So I think I'm going to have to roll with the under on this one. And you got mostly because you got to count on Hellebuyck to fucking wake up. And, sitting at the media and saying, I need to be better. Yeah, okay. You also said that last year when you were shown the exit early as well. I need to be better. Well, you were better. You put together a Vezina fucking caliber season. Where the fuck are you? It's not like you can't do it. You're just not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, big money moving on the under at 5.5. Right now, I got it at minus 145. The over's plus 115. Winnipeg is a heavy favorite, minus 175 at home. Blues are the road dog, plus 145. Winnipeg's going to get a little shot in the arm. We're going to see the return of Gabe Vilardi tonight, who had a career-high 27 goals this season, including 12 on the power play. I mean, that's going to help bolster an already potent offense. I don't know where the fuck these guys were for games 3 and 4, but you got to expect guys like Scheifele. You got to expect guys like Connell Connor to show back up at home. I do think this is, I agree with you. I think this is going to be a tight one, but I think this is going to be tight. I think this is going to be a 1-goal game either way. I think this is going to be a fucking goalie battle. It's easy to sit here and say, I do expect Hellebuck to show back up, but he's got no fucking choice. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking painted as, he was already facing this criticism, right? He lost to Bennington in the Four Nations, and now you're going to be possibly bounced again. I mean, he might as well get the choke tattoo on him if they lose this series. You disagree?
I think he should just go play for the Leafs. He'll fit right in. No, but 100%. I mean, I couldn't imagine being that good during the regular season, especially a goalie. Goalies get, highlighted way more than, Kucherov having what's going on with Kucherov? Oh, well, they could still win. When you're a goalie, it's a little bit different. I think he figures it out this year. He's got to. I'm a strong believer that you can only make the same fucking mistakes so many times until you, maybe go make the mistake again. But I think they have the opportunity. They're a very good team. If you get Connor going and Scheifele going, they're at home. If you don't win tonight, you're not winning this fucking series. Simple as that. Yeah,
you don't want to go. You can't go back to. I mean, all I kept hearing was just how fucking loud St. Louis was. The atmosphere in St. Louis was just deafening. You would have thought it was a Stanley Cup final. I mean, that fan base is rabid. You do not want to go back under those arches for Game 6, down 3-2. So, I mean, Will Johnson says he likes Winnipeg and Caps on the money line as a little parleezy right there.
Fuck you, Will.
Danny, we gave out. We're thinking. So Danny wants to know, what about the Blues team total under? Where's that sitting at, Danny?
Okay, so I was looking at that earlier this morning, but again, how much trust do you have in Connor Hellebuck? That's what it comes down to when you're looking at team totals. And even though I think Winnipeg should take care of business, you got to think the Blues have got a lot of momentum right now. They just went and took care of business themselves at home. And, the under 2.5 is sitting at -150 for the Blues. Yeah, I like that a lot because first of all, I only see the Blues getting between 18 to 22 shots, which probably only 25% of them are going to be actual high danger scoring chances. And I think this is a good bounce back spot for Hellebuck. I like the under 2.5 on the St. Louis Blues total. If that answers your question, it took a long way to get there, but I did get there.
Well, we landed the plane. We're good.
But I wanted to support it too. I don't want to just say, yeah, I like the under.
Yeah, go for it. I believe in you.
Why, right? So that's to me, I think it's a good bet.
Alex says keep the Blues off the power play, and that's it for them. Well, we'll see, man. I mean, the Blues have given them everything that they can handle. We'll see what they show up in Winnipeg. I know that fan base is going to be red. The whiteout's going to be in effect. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy with the Jets hat. I wonder where we're leaning over here.
I like the Canadian teams, okay? I'm Canadian. I want to see all the Canadians win. Like, whatever. Fucking better get it done tonight.
All right. That's all the games that we got for tonight. Right? 3 games on the card. Analyzed all 3 of them. Let's get to the best bet section. What are we thinking, brother?
So just to recap yesterday, we were fucking locked in. Okay, let me rephrase. I was locked in and you ruined it again. So we gave out the Carolina, New Jersey over 5.5 goals. That one cashed like 7 minutes in because that's the way that one went. We had Ottawa on the money line for plus money, big plus money. We had Stolars under 24.5. That was a fucking slam dunk. I should have max betted the shit out of that one. I was thinking about that later. I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? Anyways, our DJ parlay though. Just to recap, my bets was Vegas on the money line and Sebastian Aho to get a point. 2 big check marks. So we must win then, because you don't lose, do you?
Never.
Oh, wait a minute. You picked Mr. Kempe over half a point, which
slam dunk.
But then you scored the most amount of fucking goals your team has fucking scored all series, and your boy Jesper Bratt doesn't get on the score sheet.
Invisible.
Unbelievable. When I saw the score, they were up 3-0. I'm like, great, fucking Bratt's got to be involved on one of those.
Absolutely, right?
Unbelievable. So that one's on you. We're pointing the fingers. You guys want someone to blame? Point it over there. This time, tomorrow could be me. So we don't know.
Blame Burnsy. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, but we did win the best bet of the night. We did win the Ottawa, the Stolars, and 3 out of 4 on the parlay isn't too bad for some chump change.
All right. Thanks for my fucking tongue lashing there, sir.
I feel better.
I'll do better, boss.
Thank you. Please.
I'm on it. I'm going to be like Hellebuck tonight. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to fucking shove it down you.
Don't be sorry. Just be better.
Yeah, there we go. Done.
Yes.
All right, smart ass. Let's get to best bets. What are we loving tonight? What are we loving?
I've been torn between a couple of them, and it's tough because sometimes it's easy to get your emotions involved. But I think Tampa Bay gets it done. I think Tampa Bay is going to win this game. That's what I'm rolling with. I feel good about it. They've burned us twice this year already, twice in the last 2 weeks, but we're going to turn it around tonight and issue that as our best bet. Take care of business at home against the Cats.
Well, we're going to build out our DGen parlay, and I'll kick it off here, right? And don't worry, I'll do better. I got you guys. I got you, right? So we got our best bet, Tampa Bay on the money line. And the only way that Tampa cashes that play is if Mr. Kucherov comes to play tonight.
Oh, yeah. Pick the guy that hasn't gotten a fucking point all series. Yeah, sure.
He's fucking due. He's fucking due, bruh.
You're right. He is due. He is due.
I got Cooch anytime point. Definitely, he's been so goddamn quiet. He's definitely not in there at -1.5, right? Or +1.5.
I don't think so, no.
I'm not sinking this before it even got off the fucking ground, right?
Well, I mean, it's a parlay. So even if it's, you're probably spending some juice because it is Kucherov after all.
So Kucherov's in there at 1.5. So I'm not going to give that out. I'm not going to get greedy over here. So what I'll do is I'll do a Kuch assist. Kucherov over a half assist.
I got to go back to what works, buddy. And Dylan Strome is working. Dylan Strome has been working every fucking game. Going up against a backup goalie, I can see the Caps putting 3 or 4 on the board. He's probably going to get involved with at least one of them. Dylan Strome over half a point is my first one.
I think that's cashed 3 times for us so far, or this might be the third that I'll will it into existence. All right, my last leg. Love the Blues going back to Winnipeg. Think Winnipeg's going to step up. I think Hellebuck is going to fucking step up. I think the big boys are going to be out. I'm going to take Winnipeg on the money line. Jets get the W tonight. I'm a sucker for a good comeback. And boy, does Connor Hellebuck need one.
I will also stay with this game.
God, we're never going to sleep now.
Yeah, fuck. Why do we always do that? Why can't we pick the 7 o'clock games? I have a bedtime. I got to go with Kyle Connor to get a point. He's been great all season long. He's been even better at home. He's gotten, at least a point in the first 2 home games of this one, a point in the last game when they only scored a goal. So if they do score, it's probably with him involved. Kyle Connor over half a point.
I just want to make sure. All right, gotcha. He is not 1.5.
No, he isn't. He's
Yep.
like minus 300, but he's
Hey,
when you parlay it all together, it's still going to print. So,
all right, let me get this up on the screen for you guys here. So we are looking at bounce back spots tonight. We're looking at Nikita Kucherov over assists, Dylan Strome over points, Jets on the money line. And the only way that's going to happen is Kyle Connor comes in with puts a point on the score sheet. So that's your 4-legger little DGen parlay.
did you post the best bet too?
Sorry, boss. Best bet again?
TB.
Tampa on the money line. Coming at you. So we got Tampa on the money line for the best bet of the show. And then we got the old DGen parlay. So some things to play with for you guys to play around with tonight. Have some fun. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a fucking night in hockey, man. These are going to be some real fucking good ass games. I'll keep my eyes close on the Tampa and the Cats game. I'll bounce over to the Habs. And then we'll see if the Adderall kicks in or sticks around for me. And I'll see if I can stay up for the Winnipeg game. But all right, guys, thanks for joining us today. Make sure you guys hit that like button, turn notifications on. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure you do subscribe. Les, any closing words for the guys?
We did have our first losing night last night in a while, unfortunately. But hey, next winning streak starts with 1. So we are looking at locking in some profit for tonight. If you want to know all the best bets, make sure you head on over to the Telegram. You get the rest of the playoffs for just $100. Every bet, parlay, underdog, the whole shit and caboodle is posted every night to the Ylose app. Make sure you head on over there. If you don't want to just try it, there's day passes there for $49. You get my card emailed to you. If you have questions, I'm always available on Instagram. A lot of people reach out. I talk to a lot of you every day. I appreciate it. I'll get to you when I get to you. Head on over, hit me up if you got questions. Let's make some money tonight.
Thanks for joining us in the chat, guys. Hopefully we got to all your questions. Hopefully we gave you a little bit of insight of what we like tonight. Thanks for telling us what you guys like. Make sure you guys get over to ylose.com if you haven't already. It's the letter Y, LOSE.com. Check out all the guys that we have going on there. J.A. Cavalier, obviously. Les Victorie's packages are available down in the description below, but you can find him on there as well. Don't forget about Coach Rick, Luke Shuey, the prop master, the Shark, good old Punch Dusky, and of course, Neil Mack. We'll see you back over here. Enjoy the puck tonight. Take care and stay well.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.